Oh man, it's your boy Hennythemoor reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing today? And hey, I come with y'all with some breaking news, man. So Dan Quinn, the defensive maestro, the defensive guru, or somebody that we really liked at one point, he is moving on to greener pastures. At least so he believes. Dan Quinn has taken the head coaching job for the Washington Commanders. So Dan Quinn is out in Dallas. He will no longer be the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys after having a 3-year stint with us, man. After having a 3-year stint with us, he's gone. And it is what it is. I was really ready for this to happen, but we'll talk about it. We're gonna talk about this in depth, what it means for the Dallas Cowboys going forward, what I liked about Dan, what I did not like about Dan, what I expect from the next defensive coordinator, and who I expect the next defensive coordinator to be, man. So, hey, y'all come on in, get you a refreshment, get y'all a beverage. We're going to get drunk in the liquor store today, man. But, hey, y'all know the usual rules and regulations when y'all tap in with your boy, Hennythemoor, over here at the liquor store, man. First and foremost, what I need y'all to do is hit that like button. The more likes that we get on these platforms, the more likes we get on these videos, the more that these platforms will push the content. That's pretty much just how the algorithm works. So if you want Hennythemoor to continue to grow, you want the liquor store to continue to grow, prosper, and for us to be able to do all the dope stuff we do, like send folks off to games and send out jerseys, I just need y'all to hit that like button. It goes a long way in helping your boy Henny continue to do the things that we do over here. After you hit that like button, I need y'all to turn right back around and hit that share button, man. Because we all know that sharing is caring. I know somebody, mama, granny, auntie, done told y'all that. But we also believe in manifestation inside of the liquor store. So you're doing it for two reasons. Because like I said, it's just a nice thing to do. And also we believe in manifestation. We're trying to manifest that 6th title for the Dallas Cowboys. I know it did not work out this year. So we need to get a head start for the 2024 season. So if you want the Dallas Cowboys to win their 6th title, I need you to drop 6 emojis like Jackie Smith just did. And I need y'all to share the content 6 times. Hey, JVB boy, you also in here helping us practice manifestation with the 6 shot glasses, man. Thank you for sliding in and showing love. Darnell Lamar, you helping us show practice manifestation in the liquor store, man. I see you. Salute to y'all, man. Yo, Charlie Jones, what's up with you? Let me show y'all some love in the chat box, man. We just opened the doors to the liquor store and y'all already in here with us, man. Eric Wallace, what's up with you? Jackie Smith, what's up with you? Charles Jones, what's up with you? Miller on time, what's up with you? Let's see what's in the building with us, man. JVB boy, what's up? Darnell Lamar, what's up? Salute to everybody. Corey Vaughn in the building, man. What's up with you, my guy? Willie T, what's up with y'all, man? Thank y'all for coming in and showing love to the liquor store. Salute to y'all good people, man. And hey, listen, the next thing that I need y'all to do after we done hit that like button and we done hit that share button, I need y'all to slap the shit out of a Commanders fan today, man. Because I'm pretty sure they're going to be the loudest ones talking crazy on the internet today. So, we're going to slap the shit out of a Commanders fan. Just because Dan Quinn decided to carry his ass on over there. And if you're able to find one, because I don't know too many of them, I will be able to give you half off on all the merchandise inside the liquor store. And we got exactly what you need to succeed over here, man. We got cow burritos, we got gin, we got hen, and everything else under the sun that can make you sin. So tap in with your boy, Hennythemoor, and come get drunk in the liquor store. So yeah, man, let's get into it. So this is what we were talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and screen share this. They got fans. I be seeing a couple of them in the stadium. When we go over there and play. But this is the official report from Ian Rappaport at the Rap Sheet, right? This is directly off of his Twitter page. I guess it's called X now, but whatever. Yo, Jose Contreras, what's up with you, man? They been tapping in and showing love to the liquor store. Long time no see. So it's official. He said, sources, the Commanders have found their new coach as owner Josh Harris is set to hire Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn as head coach. Quinn gets his 2nd NFL head coach gig but not with the Seahawks, as many expected. He lands in Washington. Now, listen, what's up with you, Paul? Thank you for tapping in. Now, listen, I don't think anybody actually saw Dan Quinn ending up going to the Washington Commanders. Like this report said, it was damn near a foregone conclusion at one point that Dan Quinn would receive the head coaching job for the Seattle Seahawks. Right? He had ties with that team. He was one of the architects of the Legion of Doom. So, you know, it just made all the sense in the world for him to end up as the future head coach for the Seattle Seahawks. That is not what happened. You know, they went in a different direction. They actually hired the defensive coordinator from the Baltimore Ravens, McDonald. So that's who their hire ended up being. And because he lost out on that job, I actually thought that Dan Quinn would be back. Right? I did not think he was going to get a head coaching job after the Seattle Seahawks gig fell through. But, you know, Washington offered him the job and he accepted. Now, one of the reasons why he did go ahead and accept that job, there's only 32 head coaching jobs in the National Football League. And there's always a new up-and-coming younger coach coming in getting jobs every other hiring cycle. So just because you're in demand now doesn't mean that you're still being demand down the line. Remember, Dan Quinn had a choice of going where he wanted to the last couple of hiring cycles. He turned jobs down the first time and the second time. Right? So he could go where he wanted to go. He had offers, they wanted him badly, and he turned those gigs down to come back to Dallas. This time around, he was not in high demand like that. He was not in high demand like that. He would wait for folks to call him back. They were going through their options. Like he had to wait. And can you really blame them with the way that the season ended? When you're a defensive-minded head coach and your defense gave up 41 points in the last game of the season, you know, that stuff is sort of jarring for people that want to hire you. So I understand why Dan Quinn took the Washington job. And when you think about it, the Washington Commanders have a bunch of stuff in place that is, you know, that's very tempting for a new head coach. Right? So let's talk about the cap space. Let's talk about the cap space. Washington got cap. Matter of fact, the Washington Commanders have the most cap space of any football team. Right, as of right now, according to Spotrac. Matter of fact, I don't even want to use Spotrac. Let's use Over the Cap. I think Over the Cap has better cap numbers. I think Over the Cap is more accurate. So right now, the Washington Commanders have about $73.6 million in total cap space. So they got $73 million in cap space, and they got the number 2 overall pick in the draft. So not only can you bring in free agents over there and build that team up, you also can draft your future quarterback of the future, right? It may not be Caleb Williams, because I think Caleb Williams ends up going number 1 overall. But you could get a Drake May. You could get a Jaden Daniels. You could get any of those other young and up-and-coming talented quarterbacks coming out of this upcoming draft. Hey, shout out to my boy Joseph Gardner for the 10-piece, man. He said, I love to see us get Marvin Lewis in Dallas. He's great with the 4-3. That's not a bad idea, man. And see, Joseph, I'm glad as you came with a name and why you liked him. Because a lot of times we have complaints, but we never have actual solutions. So salute to you, Joseph Gardner, for the support and for also giving us a good name to look at. Because I don't believe the Dallas Cowboys will get any young up-and-coming defensive coordinator. You know, I've said multiple times that they're either going to hire Joe Witt or they'll probably end up having to hire an older former head coach who's on their 3rd or 4th try in the National Football League. Because when you think about it, he said Marvin Lewis is with the Raiders. Okay, so Marvin Lewis will not be an actual option. But let me ask y'all a question. What about Wink Martindale? Let me ask y'all, do y'all know if Wink Martindale is currently available or not? because I think Wink can do some good things for us with the personnel that we have. And Wink has already shown that he can orchestrate some decent defenses. Mike Vrabel is a good candidate too, because really the way that I look at it, Mike McCarthy only has a singular year on his contract. So you either want a head coach that only wants to be here for a year anyway, so they can audition for a new head coaching job, or you can get somebody in internally. But I don't think that you can really go out there. He said, here's an honest question. Where is Dak from? Dak Prescott is from Louisiana. He's from a super small town in Louisiana. So that's where Dak's from. Mississippi State is where he went to college at, though. But he is a country boy from Louisiana. Zimmerman, like there are some, it'll be an older coach if they do not hire somebody like Joe Witt, who there is actually rumblings that he might leave as well. If they don't hire a Joe Witt, then they might hire somebody who only once a year to probably showcase their talents for another head coaching job. Shout out to my boy Corey Vaughn for the 5-piece, man. He said Bill Belly because he will be next head coach. I mean, that makes sense as well. That makes sense for the front office anyway. Mike McCarthy probably going to be looking over his shoulder the entire year, and that probably will affect his coaching ability if the greatest coach of all time was to come out and be his defensive coordinator. It was already hard enough to do with Dan Quinn on the roster. There were rumblings of people wanting to get rid of getting rid of Mike McCarthy for Dan Quinn when he was here, right? So just imagine having Bill Belichick, who is thought of being as the GOAT, breathing over your shoulder, waiting for you to mess up so he can get your job next year. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if Mike McCarthy could handle that. Nor do I know if that would be a good environment for trying to win a Super Bowl. Now, pressure bust pipes, like that might be something that pushes Mike McCarthy to greatness, right? But you never know how situations like that work out in the long run. He said Witt going to the Commanders to be the defensive coordinator. I mean, it's a possibility. Is that official yet? I've seen rumblings, and that's the thing. I've seen conflicting reports. One report says that Joe Witt is likely going to go and be with Dan Quinn, and then there's other reports says that Joe Witt is the in-house favorite to be the defensive coordinator here. So I really don't know what's true or not. He said every coach takes players with him. Who Dan Quinn gonna get? Probably J-Ron. J-Ron is a free agent. So, J-Ron has had his best seasons with Dan Quinn, right? Became a starter, recognizable player in the National Football League while playing in Dan Quinn's system. So if somebody was to leave, I think it would probably be a J-Ron Curse, who's a free agent. Who else on the defensive side of the ball is a free agent that can walk and go with them? Really nobody. Right? I think J-Ron is probably the biggest name on the defensive side of the ball that's a free agent. So Al Harris ain't no defensive coordinator yet. Maybe Dorrance Armstrong, J-Ron Curse, some of the guys that has their best football played underneath him. And see, I would prefer Mike Vrabel over. I would prefer Mike Vrabel over somebody like Riverboat Run. Just to be honest with you, like his defenses at the end were not that great, right? I'm just talking about Ron Rivera as a defensive coordinator. Like his defenses were not top 10 units, the last couple of years that he was a defensive coordinator. Right. So matter of fact, let's do our homework on that real quick while we're just sitting here talking. So Ron Rivera. Let's Google him. Right? We can do the legwork right here. So boom, when was he the defensive coordinator somewhere? All right, so as a coach, he was the defensive coordinator for the Bears 2004 to 2006, and he was the defensive coordinator for the Chargers in 2008 through 2010. So let's look at his most recent stop as a defensive coordinator. – 2008 scoring defenses. Y'all have a great day as well. So let's see, what would that scoring defense looking like in 2008? All right, so this is first year with the Chargers. All right, so let's see. Total points, let's see. All right, bear with me. Matter of fact, I'm just going to pull the screen up while I'm looking at it so y'all can see this as well. Yeah, D-Law ain't no free agent. D-Law going to be here. He said 27 points per game, which sounds about right. Let's take a look. This is the total points scored on a defense this season. That season. We're looking for the San Diego Chargers. I think that would throw my eyes off. I'm looking for Los Angeles Chargers. No one damn well. That's not who they are no more. So there they go. All right. So the San Diego Chargers, they allowed 21.7 points per game in 2008 when he was his first year as the head coach. I mean, as the defensive coordinator there. Right? So that's 21.7 points per game, allowed 347 points on the season. All right? So let's move forward a year. Let's go forward. Let's look at another year. That's 2008. We also know he was there in 2009. All right. So this is 2009 season. Points per game. Let's take a look. Remember, he is the defensive coordinator for the San Diego Chargers. So they were pretty good. They were pretty good that year. They were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so they were the 11th best scoring defense in the league that year. They only allowed 20 points per game, 320 total points on the season. I say extend Dak 3 years, $40 million a year. I think it'll be more like a 4-year deal for a little bit over 55, 56 a year. But either way, as long as you get an extension done with Dak Prescott, you save a ton of cap space, and you're able to make a lot of different moves for roster building. You get to save a good amount of money. So regardless of what the average is, right, it's all about the cap hit. Because remember, Dak Prescott is currently making $40 million a year, and he's never actually made $40 million, in a singular season against the cap. The first year was like $17 million and some change. The second year was $19 million and some change. This last season that just passed, it was under $28 million. So Dak Prescott, on paper, has been making $40 million a year, but the cap hits have not been $40 million yet. And it'll be the same principle when he signs for the 55 or he signs for the 60 and so on and so forth. Now you good. So you know what? I gave Ron a hard time, but the last couple of seasons that he was a defensive coordinator, he actually did some decent work. Let's look at 2010 real quick. Let's look at 2010. All right, points per game again. Let's take a look. San Diego Chargers still up there. All right, so you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Again, only giving up 20 points a game. So they did go to the Ron Rivera route. His last stop as an actual defensive coordinator, they were doing pretty solid. And I also agree. I would keep Joe Witt, but I just wanted to give a fair review of what Ron Rivera did. I don't want to give a fair review of what Ron Rivera did, the last time he was a DC. He said he outdated, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, go Vrabel. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting Vrabel. I wouldn't mind getting Joe Witt ahead of Ron Rivera. But I also can only talk about what he's done as a defensive coordinator. Now, the question should be, was he calling the defense in Washington? Was he actually calling the defense in Washington, or was his defensive coordinators calling the game? That should be the question on how I feel about Ron. And yes, y'all please hit the like and share button for your boy while you're in the liquor store, man. I got 92 of y'all in the building with me showing love. I appreciate y'all for that. Appreciate y'all for rocking out. So I need at least 92 likes on the video now. So make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that share button. Make sure y'all slap the shit out of a Commanders fan. Make sure y'all hit that Cash App to keep the lights on in the liquor store. $ Hennythemoor. Hit those supers. And hey, let's continue to support and rock out, man. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it rocking. NFC East is snatching up Cowboys coaches left and right. They definitely are doing that, but it is what it is. When you're a good team, you usually lose your coordinators. You usually lose your coordinators, some of your good free agent players. Like, people want to poach them and see if they can do the same thing that they did for you. See, that can be replicated. See, that can be replicated over there with them. So, as long as when you're consistently a 12-5 team, when you're consistently a top 10 offense or a top 10 defense, those players and coordinators responsible for that are always going to get jobs and be requested, for interviews and stuff like that. He said Rivera called the defense in the end. Okay. Another question to ask. What did Ron Rivera do bad over there? If he were calling the defense, did they do bad because of Ron Rivera, or did they not have the personnel needed? Now, we know they had an overall good defensive line before they traded away Sweat and Chase Young. We know that defensive line was top tier. They've had a better defensive line than most teams in the NFL for a very long time. He said, you don't want Riverboat Run? That's fine. But, I got to talk about it just in case there's a possibility of him getting hired. Because remember, there was already a report floating around that Ron Rivera was a candidate that they were thinking about. So we people may not want Ron Rivera, but we still have to talk about the possibility of him coming to Dallas, since that's somebody that the Dallas Cowboys like. You know what I mean? Like, in a perfect world, I would have wanted Al Harris to become, the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. And if Al Harris was to leave, as he stated numerous times, he probably would do. I would have wanted Joe Witt Jr. because you could have kept the continuity of what they were doing, and just added some of his principles to it. Like, Joe might value the linebacker position more than Dan did, and therefore you could have had some of the same packages that you had before, but you would have utilized some things different. You probably could have used some more traditional 4-3 sets against 22 personnel and 13 personnel and 12 personnel and things like that. So There are some good things about having Joe Witt or hiring somebody internally, but there's also the outside chance that somebody from outside of the organization could come in and get the job, like a Joe Witt or a Mike Vrabel or slim chance to none a Bill Belichick. So I don't want, but I wouldn't mind having Joe Witt Jr. either. The players seem to like him. He already has some play calling experience, being the third down play caller for the Dallas Cowboys. At least that's what I was told. I'm not sure that's 100% correct, but I wouldn't mind it. He said, I don't care about the DC. Just be someone that values third down stops and run defense, or players I generally think are good enough. And that is another thing to point out there, and I'm glad that you said it. The Dallas Cowboys have great personnel. They just need somebody, like you said, they just need somebody that values linebacker play. They need somebody that values defensive tackles. They just need somebody that will be willing to match personnel. I keep talking about the things that went on with Dan Quinn. If Dan Quinn, lined up and played a traditional 4-3 defense against some of these teams, I probably would have been begging him to stay, right? But stuff like this is why I was okay with him going. He said, remember, this was from Josh Allen when he was discussing what the Buffalo Bills did offensively against the Dallas Cowboys defense. Josh Allen stated that was not the original plan to pick apart the Cowboys defense through the run before the game started. Only once they realized Dan Quinn would still match their big personnel packages, 21 with the 2 running backs, 12 with the 2 tight ends, with 5 DBs and 6 DBs in the nickel and dime sets, that when they decided just to aggressively run the football. So, that's just what they did. And I want the next defensive coordinator to have what's the word I'm looking for? I need them to have the understanding that you have weight classes for a reason. Like, don't put your defensive backs and safeties in position where they got to fight above their weight class, down in and down out. Shout out to my boy Numbhead Neil stopping in and showing love. He said, "What's up, Henny? Just slapped up Dan Quinn 32 times before he left to Washington. You might as well slap him up another 32 times for disrespecting us and trying to go out there and go to a divisional rival, man." He said Wink blitzed too much. I don't think he blitzed too much. I prefer for you to send some pressure sometimes than to sit back in coverage, right? I think there's a happy median. I think there's a very happy median, and it's only a bad thing to blitz people when you have people in the back end that cannot hold up in single man-to-man coverage. The Dallas Cowboys actually utilize a lot of zero blitz in the red zone already. They actually, bring pressure far more than they have in years past. I know that sounds crazy, but the Dallas Cowboys already blitz a lot, right? People don't talk about that, but the Dallas Cowboys already blitz at a very high rate. So bringing Wink Martindale in, I don't think that would be a horrible thing, in my opinion. Matter of fact, let me just fact check this, because the Dallas Cowboys blitz percentage is actually pretty up there this year. So let me go and find this guy that I had. So now we may actually have some, actual linebackers and not safeties cosplaying as linebackers. And listen, I do put that on Dan Quinn, because you just got to think about the track record. Because when he first got here, he had Keanu Neal, who was a safety, come and convert to the linebacker position and play linebacker for you. He was the one that ended up giving J-Ron Curse the green dot, right? Like, he's the one that ushered in this train of thought of playing the big nickel almost exclusively. Hey, I agree with that, Israel. Whoever comes in need to be ready to take care of business. I completely agree with that. 'Cause listen, we still got the makings of a championship team. We are only a couple of positions away from being true competitors. You know, I have said time and time again, the Dallas Cowboys need the ability to run the football efficiently and effectively when the passing game is not working. And they also need the ability to stop the run and force other teams to be one-dimensional in their plan of attack against the Dallas Cowboys defense. We were not able to do so. So hopefully whoever comes in here values the linebacker position and the defensive tackle position, because those are the two primary positions responsible for stopping the run. And, you know, hopefully they are savvy enough and cognitive enough to want to match personnel when teams decide to go big and run in, you know, obvious running formations. Leslie Frazier, I got to take a look into him. He said he played what should have been third down personnel on all three downs. Nickel and dime type players on first and second downs. I know. And then this the thing. If a team comes out in empty, or if they come out in shotgun on first down, it's okay to match that with nickel. It's fine to match that, you know, with nickel. I mean, yeah, the Quincy weird. You know, we be having full conversations about the other side of the ball, and they up here talking about quarterbacks. Disregard that. Just disregard that. And for some reason, I still can't see you, DeQuincy. Are you in the chat box somewhere? Did somebody already assassinate you? Let me see. If y'all did do my boy DeQuincy bad, you know, don't do him too bad, man. He just be trolling. But the Quincy decent people. Okay, I can see you. I can see you in there. Okay, I can see you, kinfolk. It said, Henny, you know you got music playing? Yeah, I got some background music playing. Yeah, I got some background music playing. He said, Willie T, I like him. He learned under Mike Zimmer. I wouldn't mind getting anybody who has, and this is the one thing I want to point out for everybody real quick. I do not want to get a defensive coordinator that wants to change. I don't want to get a defensive coordinator that wants to change our front. If whoever comes in, I want them to be a 4-3 defensive coordinator, so that we can have all our best players in their natural positions. So I want them to be a primary 4-3 base defense, right? And listen, I know that most teams deploy nickel packages because most teams throw the ball, right? So most teams stay in the nickel look about 70% of the time, because that's the way the NFL has gone. But whoever comes in, I want their base defense to be a 4-3 defense. When they go to the regular lineup to stop the run, I want a 4-3 base defense. Hell, even if you wanted to go 5-2, if you wanted to have 5 down linemen and just 2 backers, I could live with that over somebody that would not match personnel. Hey, I remember Streets of Rage, bro. I ain't played that game in so long, but I remember Streets of Rage. The Bills defense is missing Frazier. So I don't know. I don't really know the answer to who the defensive coordinator would be, but you know, I am in support of a Joe Witt if they were to hire him. And listen, I think I said this a little bit earlier, but I don't think we're too far away from having a good, solid defense. I just believe that we need better linebacker play and everything else. Yahoo said y'all getting Ron Rivera. I don't know. I hope not. I mean, I don't. Ron Rivera is just not my first option. I prefer Joe Witt over him. I prefer Mike Vrabel over him. If we end up with Ron Rivera, I can live with it. I can find some positives in anything. But oh yeah, I age, man. I age. He said Dak gonna get picked up by Dan Quinn and the Commanders if we don't extend him. I mean, he has friends. I mean, listen, that's a move that works twofold because you could take Dak Prescott off the Dallas Cowboys, add him to your team. The Cowboys get slightly weaker. The Commanders get a lot better. So if you wanted to play a Game of Thrones type of situation, then it is what it is. Yeah, I agree with that as well, Leos. If that, and listen, I want to throw this out there. A good run game also helps Dak Prescott because in the games where the running backs have accounted for at least 100 yards rushing, Dak Prescott postseason record is 2-1. When Dak Prescott does not have to be Superman and he does not have to put the weight of the world on his shoulder to get us to the finish line, he can win you playoff games. We've seen it in the 3 games where the running back room has given the offense at least 100 yards rushing. Dak Prescott is 2-1, with the only loss being his rookie year against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Y'all remember that game. Dak Prescott was exceptional. 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, 1 interception. But we also remember the third and 20 completion and the walk-off field goal to win the game. So in the games where the running backs have given Dak Prescott some support, he's won those games for the most part. When you look at the games where the offense has been one-dimensional and has been all Dak Prescott, we don't win. You know what I mean? We just don't win those games. He said, I'm surprised Wes ain't came live yet, or Landlord about Dan Quinn. Landlord is at work. West Coast might be asleep right now. I tried to call Wes and tell him about the news, but I guess he was asleep. He said, that is it. You're a Commanders fan. Oh my God. Who y'all out here accusing of being Commanders fans, man? Who y'all out here accusing of being Commanders fans, man? I need to know. Yeah, that's funny as hell. That's probably the worst fan base you can be. Let me see. I'm trying to see if there's any more updates on here before we jump off, because I have not yet found out any new news about if Joe Witt is staying or anything. Oh, y'all called the boy DeQuincy a damn Commanders fan. Y'all wilding in the chat box. We here to be positive and see how our team can get better. If you want to get rid of Dak, at least bring up a solution to who will take Dak's place. And yes, I can agree with that. If you want to get rid of Dak Prescott, find me a player who can replace him. Cuz said Trey Lance. He said the 3rd string quarterback. See, that sound like somebody just saying Trey Lance sound like somebody that just wants to see a different quarterback. We want you to find us a better quarterback. No. Find me a better quarterback. Don't find me somebody that's his backup's backup. Find me somebody that could actually take his job if he was in Dallas. That's the kind of play I'm looking for. Because if you just want to say we're going to blow it up and rebuild, that's a different story. If that's the case, we don't need to re-sign CeeDee Lamb or Michael Parsons either. We just need to blow it up and get as many draft picks as humanly possible. I mean, I'm not the one that said a third string quarterback was going to come and take us to the Super Bowl. Now, see, he said Kirk Cousins over Dak. Now, if Dak was to walk, I wouldn't mind having a Kirk Cousins. I don't think Kirk Cousins is better, but I also believe that you can compete with Kirk Cousins. You also probably have to pay that man a shit ton of money, just like you would Dak Prescott. So there's not really a trade-off right there. Russell Wilson has been awful for the last two or 3 years, so I wouldn't take Russell Wilson right now. I mean, none of those quarterbacks you mentioned are going to take it to the Super Bowl. Russell Wilson ain't competed for a Super Bowl since before Dak Prescott got in the league. The last time that Russell Wilson was a relevant quarterback in competing for a championship, Dak Prescott was still in college, right? Kirk Cousins has never actually competed for a championship. He's never been good enough to win but one playoff game. So, I get it. People be mad at the quarterback, but we all know, we lived long enough as Dallas Cowboys fans to know we were bad before Dak Prescott got here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were having the same conversation about Tony Romo, about moving on from Tony Romo. And then we moved on from Tony Romo and got Dak Prescott. And then when we didn't have the success with Dak Prescott, now folks want to move on from him. And it's going to be a forever, never-ending cycle. It's going to be a forever, never-ending cycle of get quarterback, blame quarterback, I want to replace quarterback, right? Because that's how it's been. We had a Quincy Carter. We done had all these damn quarterbacks since Troy Aikman, and none of them have done it. So eventually we're going to get to the point where we just stop worrying about the quarterback and worrying about building a complete team. Landlord, what's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the liquor store, my brother. Said, what's the 49ers live stream? He said, what did Brock do to Dak, Love, Brady, or Goff? Oh, you're a Niners fan. All right, you talking shit. Just make sure y'all don't lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, just make sure y'all don't lose. That's all I'm going to say. But congratulations. He said, Kurtz, you like that Cousins better than Dak, bro. I need that gas you own. Not if we go into quarterback purgatory. Man, y'all so damn crazy. Y'all in this motherfucker wilding. But hey, y'all make sure y'all show some love to my brother Landlord, man. Make sure y'all go and like and subscribe to his page. Rock out with my boy. He's always dropping great content. So y'all make sure y'all show my brother some love, man. Said Henny, I don't support Kurt. I'm not saying that Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. I'm just saying that if something stupid was to happen and Dak wasn't on the team, I wouldn't mind having a Kirk Cousins. I'm not saying I would swap them out for each other. Nor do I believe that Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback. Like, Dak Prescott's a better quarterback. Kirk Cousins has been in the league longer and he has less playoff wins. He has less all-pro selections. So, yes, I'm taking Dak Prescott over Kirk. Ain't nobody gonna get a first round. Yeah, you ain't getting no first round for Cooper Rush. I mean, I'm sure they were in their feelings. Of course, they were blaming Dak Prescott. It's the first thing you do when you're at a sporting event. You blame the quarterback. You blame the superstar on the basketball team if they ain't playing well. This is usually how that shit works. mean, Josh Allen is not a hoe, but he also is super turnover prone. I don't think that Josh Allen is a horrible quarterback. I just think he's entirely too reckless with the ball. But yeah, man, that's all I really wanted to talk about. You know, I came on here just to give y'all my thoughts and views on the Dan Quinn situation, on him departing from the Dallas Cowboys. You know, so we'll see. And Izzy, though, the Quincy, they got the same, they got the same resume pretty much. If honestly, you look at Dak Prescott's resume and you look at Josh Allen's resume, Dak Prescott's is actually a little better. They got the same amount of All-Pro selections. Dak got more Pro Bowl selections. Dak was Rookie of the Year, Walter Payton Man of the Year. Better passing numbers. The only thing that Josh Allen actually has is rushing statistics. So, but Josh Allen is a good quarterback. He's young. He's a good quarterback. He proved it. Dak ain't beat him yet. All right, and Dak Prescott is undefeated against Drew Brees. That don't even mean shit. You know what I mean? Like, hell, Dak Prescott beat Drew Brees. Drew Brees never beat Dak Prescott. Head-to-head matchups, head-to-head matchups don't mean anything. That's a crazy thing to say. Were you saying this about Dak Prescott when he beat Tony Romo in the postseason? Were you saying that about Dak Prescott when he beat Tom Brady in the postseason? Like, yeah, man, Dak beat Tom, so he gonna be the GOAT. Nobody said stupid shit like that. Why we talk about head-to-head matchups against two players that don't even play against each other? They play against each other's defenses. So if I got a sorry-ass defense and you got a good defense, you know what I mean? It's always it's a stupid-ass thing to say regardless of the quarterback you're talking about. If I said that about any other quarterback, head-to-head matchups, it's not real. Y'all spend too much time watching ESPN. This ain't Kobe Bryant against LeBron James, where Kobe can score on LeBron and LeBron can score on Kobe back to back. Like, quarterbacks don't play each other. They play each other defenses. That's not how that works. They're never going to be on the field at the same time. The Quincy just be in his feelings about Dak Prescott. Dak got his old lady pregnant or something, because this man just be going crazy on Dak every time I see him. Shit don't even be making sense. The man said his best season was in 2016, despite the fact that he was voted the second best quarterback in the league this year. So yeah, it's good though, the Quincy. It's good. We know your stance on Dak Prescott. It's going to be okay. He's still going to be your quarterback, so you're just going to have to find a way to live with that. I mean, it is what it is. Yo, Jay Bryan, what's up with you? He said, my Dan Quinn replacements are Joe Witt, Mike Zimmer, Mike Vrabel in that order. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Especially with the Joe Witt. I'm big on having continuity. So like I said, I don't mind Joe Witt. I don't mind Mike Vrabel. I really didn't know that Mike Zimmer was open and available, but he does have a 4-3 background and pedigree. So damn, Numhead Neal done shot my boy. Numhead Neal done shot the Quincy. Ooh-wee. You said the Eagles should have never been in the Super Bowl. I mean, I can agree, right? I can agree with that. I mean, you're really not. Listen, if you move on from Dak Prescott as quarterback, it's time to rebuild. Unless you're going to go out and get an obvious quarterback that's better. Unless you're going to go get an obvious quarterback that's better, I don't want to move on from quarterbacks. Not right now. Because you're resetting your championship window. You draft a quarterback in the first round, A rookie quarterback has never won a Super Bowl or been to a Super Bowl. So I automatically know the first year of the new quarterback, I'm not winning a ship. There's only been a handful of quarterbacks that been to a Super Bowl in their second year. So I'm resetting everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's on if he come in and he can improve that much. Right? What if it take the quarterback multiple years to get it together? Or worse, what if we miss on the quarterback entirely and we end up in purgatory? So I don't know. I don't really just want to go draft a dude. Especially not this year. Not this year. No, Big Ben went to an AFC championship game as a rookie. He went to an AFC championship game as a rookie. But I think he did go the following year. It was like year 2 or 3 when Big Ben won the championship. Thank you. Yeah, I knew it was like year 2 or 3 when Big Ben won, because he went to the championship game year 1 and then he lost that, but they were able to win the Super Bowl the second year. And listen, even with all that, let's say you replace the quarterback, you still need to put the infrastructure in place for the next quarterback to be successful. You still need to be able to stop the run. You need to be able to run the football. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still need the infrastructure in place. Landlord going to be on sometime tonight. They done flipped my boy's schedule around, so Landlord is going to be on sometime this evening. So my boy going to be on sometime this evening. Hey, Rico Jones, let me pull up your comment. I'm gonna speak on that real quick. So I tell you what, I'm gonna ask y'all this question: Have y'all saw the Micah Parsons pivot? I mean, yeah, the edge, I should say. Have you seen Micah Parsons the edge? He said there are already packages in place for him to play linebacker. He already talked to coaches and talked to other players and told him he did not mind playing linebacker in the postseason if that was going to help them win the game. He also said he cannot call those plays on his own. He has to run what they call. So Micah Parsons is already willing and able to play linebacker if said defensive coordinator asks him to do so. Said defensive coordinator can put Micah Parsons at linebacker if he wants to. There were already packages in place for him to do so. We just didn't do it in the playoff game, really. So the next defensive coordinator, I don't think they have to make Micah Parsons do it. I think Micah Parsons is willing to do whatever it takes to win football games. At this point, he already has the sack numbers. He's going to get paid as an edge. He's going to get all the money in the world, right? That's already set in stone. So I still think Micah Parsons can get double-digit sacks and play situational linebacker for you, and you'll be successful. DQ knows he don't got to run defense, and that's what the nation wants most right now. Yeah, we definitely want to run defense. Now, we don't want to fall into where we can't stop the pass either, but you need to be able to do both. Complete defenses are able to do both. A complete defense, can stop the run, and they can also stop the pass. He said Micah isn't a Mike. No, he's not. He would be playing off-ball linebacker. He'll either be a weak side or a strong side linebacker, but he would not be the middle linebacker. But his brother also talked about that. Like when we talked to TP, Terrence Parsons, he came on the show multiple times at this point. He said that Micah Parsons would be playing off-ball linebacker when he does line up at the linebacker position. So he was not intending for him to play middle linebacker, and those were not the packages they were speaking of. Yeah, you need a whole different person to come in and be your Mike linebacker. You need a whole different person to come in and be your Mike linebacker. But Michael Parsons can play weak side linebacker, strong side linebacker, see ball, get ball. He can do that. You need Bobby Wagner. You need Devontae David. You need one of these veteran linebackers that are sitting on an open market in order for you to be the defense that you want to be. Yeah. I'm still tripping. My dude said that. My dude said Kirk Cousins had less playoff success than Dak Prescott. But you want Kirk Cousins. My God. And it's not like Kirk Cousins hasn't had good teams. He's been on loaded teams. So they still haven't got it done. So, you know. Say a structurally sound defense needs to do two things: stop the run and get off the field on third down. Sacks and turnovers are overrated and a horrible way to build your defense. I agree. And I'll say this: sacks that don't come on third down are overrated. A third down sack changes the outlook on a play entirely. A third down sack might knock them out of field goal range and force a punt. You know, like sacks on third downs are great, but you know, like just a first down sack, a second down sack, they can still give a first down or a touchdown. You know, on situations like that. So I will agree with you in that standpoint. It's not the end all be all. Yeah, Bobby Wagner done being an all pro the last 3 years, man. Like Bobby Wagner still like that. Man, it's very hard to make Dallas Cowboys fans happy. You know what I mean? We used to pray to not go 8-8 every season, right? Because we had the 4-year stretch, 6-10, 8-8, 8-8, 8-8. We had a 4-year stretch of not even having a winning record. Now we done had winning records for 3 years straight, and we're not happy with that either at this point. And Rico Jones, I'm going to say this. I am no longer entertaining linebackers with injury histories. I'm sorry. He may be a great person. He may be a great player. But I don't want to draft the next Leighton Vander Esch. I don't want to draft a guy that got an injury issue and he can't be physical like Damone Clark, right? Because he had his back fused together and he isn't taking on contact like he probably should. Like, I don't want anybody with health concerns playing one of the most physical positions on my team. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that. Give me somebody that's fully healthy, that wants to go out and hit and be a crash dummy. Like, give me that. I don't really want somebody with an injury history at the linebacker position no more. Maybe I'm jaded on that, but I don't want that. I don't want that no more. Oh yeah, facts. Yeah, we hate the way that we end the season, but you know, we got to also like the progress. You know what I mean? So hopefully we can build on what we've been building on and get over the hump pretty soon. That's all I care about is getting over the hump, man. All right. But yo, man, I've been on here for about an hour. Thank y'all for coming in and showing love to the liquor store. Thank y'all for supporting and rocking out with your guy. On the way out, please continue to hit that like button, continue to hit that share button, hit that Cash App, hit that super chat, slap the dog shit out of a Commanders fan, man. He said 2 linebackers with neck issues, typical front office signings. Is all started with Sean Lee. They love flimsy, flaccid linebackers. I don't. Give me a hard head. Give me somebody that's gonna play with reckless endangerment, reckless abandonment. Just give me somebody that's gonna throw his body around and lay the wood on anybody that come into shouting distance. I just need a physical, nasty ass linebacker. That is what I'm looking for. But yo, man, I thank y'all for the love. I'm gonna get at y'all. Yeah, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I take Jeremiah Trotter Jr. over him just because of the medicals. Like, we got too much of a messed up ass history with the medicals out of the draft for me to want that. So yeah, man. But it's your boy Hennythemoor reporting live from the liquor store. I'll probably be back live sometime tonight. But peace, God bless. I'ma holler at y'all.